Eleanor, a friendless, fragile young woman, is delighted to take up Dr. Montague's invitation to spend the summer in the mysterious Hill House, an empty mansion sitting alone in the countryside. Joining them are Theodora, an artistic sensitive, and Luke, heir to the house. Dr. Montague hopes to find scientific evidence of the existence of the supernatural, and is renting Hill House, inviting specific guests, chosen because of their past experience with paranormal events. Soon, all 4 of the inhabitants begin to experience strange phenomena while in the house, including unexplained noises, phantoms roaming the halls at night, strange writing on the walls, and other unexplained events. What begins as a light-hearted experiment swiftly becomes a trip into their darkest nightmares, and an investigation that one of their number may not survive. The Haunting of Hill House is a 1959 gothic horror novel by American author Shirley Jackson. It was a finalist for the National Book Award and is considered one of the finest literary ghost stories published during the 20th century. Twice filmed as The Haunting, and the inspiration for a 10-part Netflix series, The Haunting of Hill House is a powerful work of slow-burning psychological horror. This beautiful, genuine leather-bound edition by Easton Press, now out of print, was published in 2006 and features an excellent frontispiece illustration by Patrick Jones and an introduction by Catherine Wiswell. It has gold designs on the front, back and spine, gilded page ends on all sides, the trademark Easton Press end papers, and a gold ribbon page marker. It runs to 246 pages. Paul Sheldon used to write for a living. Now, he's writing to stay alive. When best-selling romance novelist Paul Sheldon is seriously injured following a car accident, former nurse and Paul's #1 fan, Annie Wilkes, rescues him and brings him to her home. Annie keeps Paul in her guest bedroom and refuses to take him to the hospital despite his severely broken legs, nursing him herself using her illicit stash of codeine-based painkillers, to which Paul quickly becomes addicted. Paul soon realizes that he is a prisoner in Annie's home. When Annie reads Paul's latest novel, Misery's Child, in which the titular heroine Misery is killed off, she leaves Paul alone in her house for over 2 days, depriving him of food, water, and painkillers. On her return, she has a plan. She sets up an office for him so he can write a new Misery novel and bring the character back from the dead. Paul consents, but only to give the impression that he is willing to go along with Annie's plan. While Annie is out of the house, he leaves his room, looking for a way to escape the hell that Annie has made. Misery was first published by Viking Press on June 8, 1987, and won the first Bram Stoker Award in that year. It was also nominated for the 1988 World Fantasy Award for Best Novel. In 1990, the book was adapted into an Academy Award-winning film directed by Rob Reiner and starring Kathy Bates and James Caan. It was also adapted as an off-Broadway play of the same name. The novel's title carries separate meanings. It is the name of the central heroine of Paul's book series and the state of emotion King himself suffered during the novel's writing. The intention was for the book to be released under King's pseudonym Richard Bachman, but Bachman's true identity was discovered before the book's release. The signed limited edition of Misery is published in 3 states: Artist Gift Edition, Numbered Edition, and Lettered Edition. All 3 oversized editions measure 7.5 by 10.5 inches and feature 8 new full-color illustrations by Rick Berry. It also includes 5 black and white illustrations by Dave Christensen. This signed artist gift edition features a dust jacket with stunning wraparound artwork by Rick Berry. It is a Smith-sewn binding with full imperial cloth, 2-hit stamping on front and spine, and is printed offset. Limited to 1,250 copies, it is the only edition of the 3 with the wraparound dust jacket art. It runs to 293 pages. The gates to hell are open, and something beckons. The world's last remaining magicians are living in fear. They gather to resurrect Rogowski, a recently deceased member of their order who was killed by the Cenobite hell priest Pinhead. Rogowski informs them that the hell priest is determined to obtain every source of magic known to man as part of his plan to take over hell. Their only hope of avoiding Rogowski's fate is to give the priest the location of all their grimoires and talismans. Pinhead then arrives, having been alerted by the spell that caused Rogowski's resurrection, and proceeds to degrade and massacre all of the magicians save for one, Felixson, whom he enslaves to use as a human servant. The only obstacle to the Hell Priest's plan is paranormal detective Harry D'Amour. While fulfilling the final wishes of the dead, who communicate with his business associate, the blind medium Norma Payne, Harry inadvertently opens up a portal between hell and earth. When Harry's nemesis Pinhead emerges through the portal, a vicious battle ensues. After failing to enlist Harry to pen his Scarlet Gospels, the epistles chronicling the Hell Priest's grand coup, Pinhead instead captures Norma. Harry realizes he must go through hell, literally, to save her. In this long-awaited epic horror novel, Clive Barker brings together 2 of his iconic characters, the long-beleaguered occult detective Harry D'Amour and Pinhead, in a tale set on Earth and in Hell. In the author's own words, it is a horror novel with the graphic violence and perverse eroticism of the most intense tales from the Books of Blood. Earthling's deluxe signed limited hardcover edition includes colour dust jacket art by Malleus Rock Art Lab and full-colour interior illustrations by Edward Miller. There is a lengthy foreword by Doug Bradley, famous for portraying Pinhead himself on the big screen, and an afterword by Mark Miller, which discusses the development of the novel. There are scanned original manuscript pages with hand edits in the appendix, and an outtakes section containing several scenes from the original manuscript that never made it into the final text. All copies are signed by Clive Barker, offset printed in 2 colours and created using fine materials. Only 500 numbered hardcovers were printed. They were Smith-sewn with a silk ribbon page marker and high-quality end sheets. The book comes in a black slipcase and runs to 375 pages.